If accuracy and workflow is important for you, there's no other product or service out there right now to compare. I climbed up every tree because our company wants the very best. We wanted the best solution for this problem, so to speak. And when it came down to it, iMapper was the best solution. My name is Jonathan Weathers. We're based out of North Carolina. We run a what you would call a fix and flip company here. We've been flipping houses for I think it's our 16th year that we've been flipping houses. For many years, like those that are doing it now are doing a lot of their layouts and dimensions and measurements in the house with just a pen and paper, some type of, like a laser type measurement. We're a small base company, so there's only about 6 of us. Probably about a year and a half ago, we really started realizing that we were making a lot of return trips. We were missing things when we got back in the office. We do a lot of our drawings in SketchUp. We have to bring their measurements. So we get under contract on our property. We go initially do scans in that property. So we'll do a 360 imaging using a Insta360 camera. And then we'll use the iMapper, and we'll go and do a measurement scan so we can come back and do the drawings that we need for permit. And so a lot of our projects that we work on are very, very sensitive to measurement. So what I mean by that is a lot of the projects that we work on are heavy rehab properties. So and they're smaller houses. So a lot of our houses we've done properties that are 700 square feet, 1,000 square feet. And so you have to make sure that the measurements that you get, so when you're going to do, you're moving walls, you're doing kitchen cabinet layouts, that you have to be super, super accurate with your measurements. What we were finding is that our measurements were either inaccurate when we got back. We would go install cabinetry and those measurements could be off 1, 2, 3 inches, and we would obviously have issues. You're basically having, survey grade lasers. We really needed something that we could pop in a house. Within 20, 40 minutes, somebody could walk out and have an accurate scan of that property. We use a regular laser, and then in my office here we have for sale now, but we were using a Leica. And so it had a point-to-point feature where you mount it on the tripod, you can measure, you can take multiple measurements, and then it would kind of, but again, we would find that if all the measurements weren't accurate or you didn't take the right measurements. We have some employees that basically would normally never handle things like this. And you could take them with the iMapper, give them the iPad, and spend 20, 30, you could probably just walk them through one measurement. And within walking through that one measurement, they would know how to do it from that point on. I have a lot of co-parts across the country that flip houses and use all kinds. So I reached out to some of them and said, hey, what are you using, right? And so probably your biggest competitor, in my opinion, here in the States would be probably the iGuide. Still, my problem with the iGuide is a couple of things. One, you can't get the accuracy as close as what you guys have. They're still not quite as accurate. It could be 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch off. And there are certain applications where you need it to be super accurate. The other problem with iGuide is that the stitching process is not quite as fluid as it is with you guys unless you're willing to pay a premium to have that done. Your guys' pricing is a lot better to bring it in, stitch it very easily in the software. I guess probably an addition is that I can have somebody in the field do that scan, and somebody in the office right that very second can go ahead and pull those scans in, use the iMapper platform, stitch it together, and be in SketchUp working all fluidly. With iGuide, you don't really have that option to be able to do that. Well, it's twofold. It's efficiency, and it goes down to the bottom dollar of the profitability of your jobs, right? For us, profitability is obviously very important, but efficiency is the main thing. And we have eliminated all the problems that we were having from inaccurate scans, which were delaying schedules. Being able to pull that scan in immediately from somebody in the field, that's just icing on the cake for us to be able to know that if we need something done that efficiently. So we've had some jobs, for example, where we had an inspector come and they decided that we needed engineer drawings for some element, right? And maybe this element we didn't get, we maybe got horizontal scans, but those that may not know, iMapper can do vertical scans as well too. So now they're just able to take that out there very quickly because we're on a time crunch, because now the inspector told us we need engineer drawings. We've got to get these scans done so that we can get them in SketchUp, draw them, get the plans, get them to the engineer for approval, right? And so very quickly they can take it back out, do the additional scans that we need, pull those in. We've had something really cool happen with the iMapper that has helped us. So one, because of the stitching that happens with the scans, you have the ability to get an exterior and interior scan. We've actually been able to find more easily dead space in houses. So what I mean by dead space would be there's a wall that was put up that actually just has nothing there, that was done just to make the layout of the room. And we may have discovered it later, but we've had already, I know 2 or 3 instances where we one time it had a chimney behind there. We found the chimney quickly, or it actually was just dead space, so we were able to increase the square footage. And we just found that because the stitching came all together, and we're like, well, there's a space there that nothing is there, right? Some of these jobs I never even go to. I've never set foot. I just see the scans and I see the layouts. The other thing that has been even bigger impact for us is when you take a horizontal scan of a room and you're taking thousands of measurements, you get a lot of information about the structure of the walls. So in areas where we are doing, say, cabinetry or built-in work, we honestly started being able to see in the drawings that, okay, the wall that the cabinetry is going, there's actually a bowed wall here. There's actually an inefficiency in the wall. And without finding that out on the back end, or saying, hey, somebody's got to go in with a level and see if the walls are level, we actually can go ahead and say, hey, when you're in the demo process, I can tell you, 6 feet off this wall, that wall is out of plumb, by 1.5 inches. And so we're able to go ahead and fix that stuff right from the get-go, before drywall comes in, before cabinetry comes in. So when those things come in, we have a very smooth and level surface. And we didn't really anticipate that the laser was going to be able to give us data for that. But that's definitely something that was kind of a bonus for us. Well, again, comparing it to some of the other options in the market, you're basically looking at being able to click a button. And as long as you take the scans properly, with the doors open, and we've had no errors in the scans stitching together at all. So it's really just more about speed. We do a lot of our designs in SketchUp, which I've said already, but when you're able to pull in scans, click a button, and then pull that directly, and I'm talking like maybe taking 5 minutes to do that, that's just unheard of. And then if we don't have the ability, or we're having a time constraint on our end, you guys have the ability to offer for us to be able to say, hey, we need this to be able to be stitched together, laid out. We need some type of 2D design. We don't want to touch it. You guys have that solution there. So it can be as much as you want it to be turnkey. I haven't, because the scans are so efficient and the stitching happens so efficient. When we pull it into SketchUp, it really takes us maybe another 5 minutes to do the 2D layout. Yeah, so we always use the app. We never use the puck by itself. And just to make sure that, because on the app you're able to see kind of some of the scans there as it's kind of doing, it kind of gives you that radar experience. You can kind of see how, and so we want to make sure that we're not having any issues. Oh, we tracked it. Yeah, absolutely. So for us, before, to do a laser type scan, we were spending between 1.5 hours to 2.5 hours, depending on the property and the complexity of that property. Now, like I've said, we're able to come in and do that scan, probably be in and out 20-30 minutes. Again, as long as you follow the rules of taking the puck, making sure that you have line of sights into other rooms, there are no issues. For example, I'll say we did a scan, and I'll take credit because I did a scan, and I had several doors that we didn't open. But once it was in the platform, there was no problem. I was able to see what room it is because of the pictures it takes. and I was able to adjust it and help it stitch. So that's the thing, that if it doesn't stitch correctly, the way your platform works, it's going to try to help you figure it out either way. You drag it close enough, and it's going to try to make that adjustment to put it where it needs to be for you. The biggest thing that the iMapper brings for our team, out of any of the other competitors that are out there, is the ease of use, the small footprint that the device has, and the speed of the data coming from site to office and being able to start work. Two things that probably were somewhat of a roadblock for me. One, this is a device it's not a US based device. And so anytime you have that, people in the States automatically have a little bit of reservations about that. Like, am I going to be able to get support, right? How's the training going to be, right? And immediately it was very clear just from the calls that I had with you guys one-on-one that I was going to have the support and attention if I had any issue. The second thing that wasn't really a roadblock per se, but more of a like, I wonder if it's going to be legit, and that is the accuracy. Is it really going to be able to be that precise? And we've found that to be accurate. The biggest thing that Daniel, that I spoke with originally, was very clear with me about is that when I had the device, if there was ever an issue with the device, they never would have a problem setting up a call, getting somebody on, chatting with me, walking me through the platform. But here's the facts. I got the device. I did a call. Your platform is so easy, in our opinion, that it's not going to take more than one call to learn how to use it. And that's where I think that you guys have a leg up on a lot of other competitors, because there's complicated third-party softwares, and it's like they almost try to make it too complicated where you have to pay for their extra services to have somebody else take the data and do it for you. Where iMapper gives you control of that situation. Yeah, so probably two things I would tell somebody who was like, looking for a solution like iMapper and probably on the fence, is that if accuracy and workflow is important for you, there's no other product or service out there right now to compare. When it comes to needing data fast, needing it to be accurate, I just don't, you're not going to find anything that's going to be simpler and help you get the job done quicker. It's just not going to happen. And I know that because I've worked with co-parts across the country that are using the LiDAR on the Apple. They're using the 3D Disto. They're using the iGuide. They're using the Matterports. I'm communicating with all of them. Yeah, before I came to iMapper, I climbed up every tree because our company wants the very best. We wanted the best solution for this problem, so to speak. And when it came down to it, iMapper was the best solution.